Right, this is chapter 4, video number 10. We're working on this condition statement, and we're trying to remember: is it greater? Is number 1 greater than number 2? So we had it as less than. So let's change that to greater than. If that's true, we want it to display true. So there we go. We've got the logic of the expression backwards. So now let's compile it. All right, so let's click on Start, and we'll compile it. We'll type in the number 3. Is 3 greater than 2? And the answer we're expecting should be true, and it is. All right, so we fixed it. We debugged it. It looks good. The logic looks right. It's nice and clean code right here. And we could probably write some more documentation in there, but we don't need to do that. Now, when it comes to the catch, again, we want to put in a message box in there. And we want to show a message, and the message will be something like it's what you entered was not a number. All right, and that was the first argument. Let's go to the second argument with a comma, and the second is the title of our message box. So I'm going to go, that is an entry error, and let's go in and put in another comma. We can also put in the next argument, which is a message box button, and if I put a dot there, it gives me a list of buttons. I'm going to say the OK button, comma, and finally I'm going to put in a message box icon, dot, and we'll just put in an exclamation. We could put in like a hand, for example, if you want. There we go, and close that off. We're done. All right, so now when we compile and run, what should happen is we've still got our 3 is greater than 2, and that's true. But if I type in, let's say if I type in 2, well, that doesn't make any sense. And let's say, oops, it's not a number. Yeah, and there's the different icon symbol in our error message. So we can prompt the user to do it right. All right, now let's go on and let's finish the rest. We've got 2 more in here. And so what I'm going to do there is I've got all this code in here for the greater than button, and it looks like it's working pretty good. I haven't really cleaned it up that well or documented it, but for the most part it's okay. What I want to do is I'm actually going to take all the code that I wrote right there and copy that. And to speed up things, everything is basically the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on the radio button, less than. All right, and when I click on less than, it creates this, and then I'm just going to paste it. So I'm duplicating the code. I can reuse these variables because once I've used them up here and I've completed this method, those variables are released and I can reuse them again. So that's not a problem. Now, the only thing I have to change in this is my expression. So because this is a less than radio button, all I have to do is change that to less than. Again, let's just save it, run it, and let's see if that works. So if I go back into use my same type of data, yes, we know that's true, but this should be false, and it's false now. So you can see how quickly we can write the code. So this one is correct and complete. I can test it again with other incorrect data to see if my catch block works, but it should. Let's go to the third one, which is the equal key. I'm going to paste it in again, and again, my expression is simply going to be equal, and it's all pretty much the same. So now when I go back in and I run and test it, oh, and there's my problem. Equal is not equal in programming. If you want to make it do a comparison, you have to use equal equal. 1 equal is an assignment statement. 2 is actually comparing. All right, so we could do 3 and we do 2, so that should be true, false, false. And if I go 2 and 3, that will become false, true, false. So it looks like it's behaving properly as designed. All right, so that looks pretty much like a wrap on this one here. Again, a good idea and good practice to go into your code and clean it up. So go into your greater than, less than, and equal to radio buttons. Make sure it's documented, lines are done before you submit it. All right, so we'll see you in the next video.